There is a place in a small southern city where a diverse group of creatives, inspired by an ethic of accommodation, develop an original voice, a voice that is beginning to be heard around the world. A true community theater for the weird community.
You wonder what there is to do around here, but if you really want, you can become a Fausteketeer. So tell all of your friends, and when they ask you, tell them where. The dilapidated clubhouse in Railroad Square. So people come from all around to see the show. When the show is over, they don't really want to go. It's Tallahassee's weird community. Oh, all hail the Mickey Mouse Club. All hail the Mickey Mouse Club.
The Mickey Faust Club, founded in 1987 by partners Donna Marie Nudd and Terry Galloway, is Tallahassee, Florida's tongue-in-cheek answer to a certain unctuous rodent living in Orlando. But the name also pays homage to Goethe's good German doctor, whose struggles with the devil mirror the group's own. The leader of the club is Mickey Faust himself, the foul-mouthed, cigar-chomping rodent who claims to be the illegitimate sewer rat brother of that better-known, better-groomed cartoon creation. In real life, Mickey Faust is deaf female performance artist Terry Galloway.
I was actually tossed out of theaters because of my deafness. And I went into plays because I had these examples all through my life. Esther's Folly, Shakespeare at Winedale, Wow Cafe, PS 122, Women's Project, wonderful, wonderful places where they knew how to be welcoming. So I wanted something like that for myself and for people that I knew.
Mickey Faust has a 22-year history of sold-out audiences for its annual cabarets of original material, written, produced, directed, and performed by an all-volunteer community group of about 50 people who call themselves the Fausteketeers.
The most wonderful resource of all are with people, people who are a little out of the mainstream, people who have been told no a whole lot in their lives for whatever reasons. So you get those people together, and they're really capable of creating a space in which no isn't the operative word. The operative word, I don't want to say it, but yeah, sure. The operative word is yes.
The Fausteketeers are a diverse bunch: firewomen and hairdressers, filmmakers and radio producers, teens and parents, biologists and nurses, queers and straights, university professors and students, massage therapists and the disabled, born-agains and Wiccans, Mennonites and men in tights.
Faust means an insurance salesman can come to a meeting with an idea to do Romeo and Juliet on the wall in a climbing gym.
A nerdy biologist can spend the bulk of her free time being a creative artist.
It's an opportunity for me to have a chance to have my say.
One of Faust's strongest suits is the level of inclusion, bringing people with all sorts of different abilities, from physical abilities and mental abilities to performance abilities, putting them all on the same stage, giving them all the opportunity to work together at every aspect of production and direction and creation and performance.
The Mickey Faust Club cultivates a sharper, more original community voice by serving as an incubator for work created by artists who consider themselves out of the mainstream.
Because there are a lot of community theaters that they have, and what they do is they import the voice because they import the plays. Well, Mickey Faust looks to his own people and says, what's your real voice?
From musical parody to Shakespeare, to bad jokes, to moving monologues, political and socio-sexual satire, literary and cinematic parodies, vaudeville and experimental, Faust captures a broad range of material with an especially keen eye, or cane.
I have been to San Francisco and Chicago and Europe even. I had no idea this level of entertainment was here. This cabaret style, very smart and edgy and witty, and I think it's very fresh and obviously ahead of its time.
I've seen Shakespeare productions all over the country at some of the best places to see Shakespeare. But in general, I have fallen asleep through them. But when I came and I saw what happened here with Mickey Faust's production, I was really involved. I could really follow the story. I could really identify with the characters, and it was fun.
It was funny and interesting, and there was music, and it was all very eclectic.
It was funny, it was entertaining, and the humor was very topical.
I had a great time, and I drank lots of beer and laughed a lot.
I just laughed till I cried.
Very clever, satirical.
I would venture that Mickey Faust is not only one model for community arts, but an exemplar. Companies around the nation ought to be learning from and emulating their practices of involvement, activism, inclusivity, and artistry.